Greetings, everyone. Glad to see you once again. Welcome. Gee, when you're in church, I know it's been a while, and we have these offering plates and we pass them down the road, or the pew. We pass them down where everyone's sitting. What do we do with them? What do we do during worship with them? Or if we're at Sunday school and we come to Sunday school, we pass the basket around for our offering. So what do we do when they come by? Yes, we put money in them, right? We put money in them, and then that helps us do the work of God, that helps spread the word of God to other people, right? Well, you know what? Offering is something you give to someone else. Or it especially is in church, we give it to God, right? Well, in Jesus' time, they didn't have offering plates like this. They didn't have that. They had a special box, not a box like this with special stars and golden stars and things on it. They had a money box, and it was outside the temple, and people would walk up the steps and put their offering in the money box long ago. And that's how they collected. And today we have a story about two people who gave their offering, and their offerings were very different. And the one character is a widow in our story. And a widow is a woman who has had a husband, but her husband died. Now, if it was a husband and the wife died, he would be called a widower. So a widow is the woman, the lady. And then we also have a rich man in our story. So those are our characters. And our story comes in our Sparks Story Bible. And it takes place when Jesus is sitting outside the temple, on the temple steps, talking to his disciples, teaching them. Because he was teaching them all the things he wanted the disciples to teach other people too, how to live. Okay, and here's our story. Jesus sat down outside the temple and taught the disciples about how to share. Do you see that rich man in the fancy robes? Jesus asked the disciples. They looked around and they saw him. He twirled his robes when he saw that they were watching him. I must be very special, thought the rich man. The man in the fancy robes stopped in front of the money box outside the temple. He slowly reached into his money purse and pulled out several coins. One by one, he held them up to the sun so they all flashed for all to see. It's time for me to give to the poor, he said very loudly. The coins made a loud clang as he dropped them in the money box. Now Jesus asked the disciples another question. Do you see that poor old widow? Jesus whispered. The question because he didn't want her to scare her. She looked this way and that. She tried to hide in the crowd. She bent over the money box. Clink, clink. Her two tiny coins barely made a sound as she dropped them in. The old woman reached her hand into her pocket. It was empty. Quietly, the poor woman shuffled away. Did you notice, asked Jesus, the man in fancy robes gave just a little of his riches and showed off a lot. The widow gave the only 2 coins she had and kept quiet about it. She shared everything. She is the one who gave the most. This is how I want you to share. And that is our story. Well, now, what did the man do with his offering? Yeah, he wanted to show off to other people. Hey, look at me. I'm putting the money into the money box. Well, let's pretend. Let's pretend that I am the rich man. If I'm the rich man, I'm going to need to get a fancy robe. So let me see. Oh, here we have one right here. Oh, this will be just perfect. It has gold cording row all around it. Well, just put this on. Wow, that's a nice flashy robe. Now, let's see. He might have had special tassels to share, to show to different people, to show that he's very rich. So we'll just put those on. And scarves. Oh yes, to show that he is very, very rich. There he is. Yeah, that looks like a rich man. And even colorful cloth. Cloth was very important long ago. And so let's put another one on. Wow, we are all set. We are ready. So what did the rich man do? He sort of flashed his robe and showed his colors and things, and then he took his coins out of his money purse. So maybe grabbed his money purse and grabbed his coins. And what did he do? He showed it up to the sun. Look at this beautiful coin. And he just hold it up, and then he would drop it in that. Now, I don't have a money box, but I have our noisy offering can that we use when we are making a special donation a while ago. And it made a clang just like the one that the money box did. So he would show the next one over here and drop it in. Then he would show it over here into the sun, let it glisten in the sun. And one here, and then he would go back over here. So all people could see that he is giving. And he says, I'm giving to the poor, and shouting it out. And he goes on there and he gives all of his coins in the money box that he had from his purse. Now, what did the woman do with her offering? Well, she didn't have a fancy scarf. No. She didn't have tassels to show off. No. Or beautiful, colorful robe sash. No, she didn't have any of that. And of course, not a fancy robe. And if you remember seeing her picture in there, you saw that she was wearing clothes that were tattered. So let's see. Let's go to try this and see if it can be more like our woman. Oops, gotta get that over there. Ready. All right. This looks a little more like a tattered outfit that she had. All right, so now what did she do? She had only 2 coins. She walked up to the money box. She looked this way and that way, and she even got close to the money box. And she looked this way and that way, hoping no one was watching her or noticing her. And she gently went over so they could not see her, put one in, and put another in. And then she reached in her pocket. Nothing. Reached in her pocket. Nothing more. Her coins were gone. She gave everything she had into there, and she shuffled away. Now, if you look closely at the picture in the book, we're going to show that to you now. If you look closely at the picture in the book, she definitely really needs new clothes, correct? Yeah. And she gave all her money away. So will she be able to get her new clothes? No. Okay. She also needs food. Does she have money to give to get food? No. So why do you think she gave all she had as her offering? Why? Well, you know what? She loved God. She loved God so much, and she just trusted in God. She just trusted that she would be taken care of because God is a generous God. Okay? So, who does Jesus want us to be like? The wise man or the widow? Yes, he wants us to be like the widow. Why? He wants us to give out of love. Out of love. The rich man, all he wanted to do was brag. Look what I have. Look what I have. And show my money. He wasn't humble or caring like the widow was. So, what is Jesus trying to teach us? Or teach his disciples right then and there? He was teaching his disciples. What do you think he wants to teach them? It's not what you give. It's how you give it. To give it out of love. Small gifts given out of love are big gifts. Are big gifts, yes. And it's the little things that you say to someone, that's nice, something nice to someone, can be the most important thing to that person. That might have been the only nice thing that person heard that day, right? So we can do things, even though we're kids, to show God's love like the widow did with her offering. So let's pray. Dear God, ready? Dear God, through your goodness, ready? Through your goodness, you have blessed us. You have blessed us with these gifts. With these gifts. Ourselves, our time, and our possessions. And our possessions are our gifts. In your name we pray. In your name we pray. Amen. Good job. All right, and you know, as I was looking around our counter here, I found this wonderful project we did a long time ago. It was done by one of you, and I know who you are. Your name is on the back. She did this project, and it was how you could give your time, your talent, and your treasure. And I just want to share it quickly. You think, oh, what can I do? Those little things are so important. This was her first one. I helped a Girl Scout troop sell cookies. Now, she was not a Girl Scout, but she went and helped out with the job to sell the cookies and help them. I helped someone in class with math. 5 times 5 is 25. So that's one way. And she just put stars around here, decorated it. Talent. This girl loved to dance. So she taught a girl a new routine. And by teaching it to her, she discovered she loved it too. And she loved dance. Then she cut out a heart, an inside heart, and inside the heart she wrote down worship. So one of her talents is to worship. And she made a cross out of scrap paper, just cutting any little pieces apart. And then she drew a ball and she said, I pass for her talent. I pass the ball to a special needs kid. That might have been a student who had difficulty catching skills. And he was able to catch that ball and being friends. And treasures, it says, I I can become friends with anyone. Wow, how awesome. Not just a certain group, anyone. That is awesome. And then also I give, I give kindness to kids who are alone. So that's another special one. And then she wrote faith. So yes, you do have many gifts that you can give. And sometimes it is those little things. So as you go out this week, I want you to think of the lesson Jesus had taught the disciples. And that is how to share, and how to share out of love. Okay, have a great week, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.